It's time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell of KLO LLC, and I'm Tina Prigge with Vagabond Creative Studio. Good morning. So good to see you.
Good morning. Hey, look, we're dressed like summer. Summertime.
And it totally feels like summer today. Doesn't it feel like?
Time to sit back and unwind. Just kidding. I never do that in the summer.
It's perfect though because the aquatic center is open now.
Right?
Yeah. I think we should take
summer
and just go and dive in.
It's officially summer when the aquatic center is open.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the temperature, what do you think it is already this morning?
I don't know, but one of my girls put pants on this morning and then they went out to let the dogs out or something. And then they were like, oh my gosh, I needed to change. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a hot one today.
Yeah, I was a little cold when I got ready for bed last night. So I had like a winter jammy top on. And I woke up this morning, I'm like, holy smokes.
Yes. Yes. It is going to be a warm one, folks. Although we're supposed to have storms again today. So frustrated.
That storm was kind of exciting the other night. But I imagine, does that muck up the softball fields? Does that interrupt your summer fun?
Yes. And it's been on only Mondays and Wednesdays. So my 5th and 6th grade girls, not just mine, all the 5th and 6th grade girls and anybody else who plays on a Monday, Wednesday, we've gotten rained out 3 or 4 games. It's been terrible. Terrible. And we don't we're very fortunate that all those diamonds are used at the complex. So there's not really field availability for makeups either. So you just kind of have to live with it, which is a bummer.
Wow. So if you get a full season, really then luck is kind of on your side because it is weather dependent.
Yes. We're lucky because we do have a lot of games built into the season. So, the kids ideally, hopefully the weather will shift a little bit here and they'll still be able to get a bunch in. But just crappy.
Well, we thought of you yesterday. We were driving home from Green Bay, and along the highway there were all of these baseball diamonds or softball diamonds, and they were all filled, just packed with people playing.
Yeah. We were there. We were here at the complex. My 3rd and 4th grade team played last night. It was a very exciting game. Yeah. This is my little Nora pitching for the first time. You can just see her little teeny size compared to some of the other girls in the picture, but it was a beautiful night. The sun was shining. You could see the sky is perfectly blue. And it was really fun. We played against a great team and fun coaches. And so the whole thing was really good.
Oh, what a great reason to be out and about, to just spend some time outside. How lovely. So how did the team do?
They did really great. So they were ahead 2-0. For the first 3 or 4 innings. And then in the 4th inning, the other team just got hot on their bats and they scored 4 runs. So it was 2-4. We went into the 5th inning and we held them off and we had last bats because we were the home team last night and our girls just got on the bats and they scored 3 runs to win the game.
Yeah, so awesome.
It was really exciting for the girls to be able to kind of get their heads in and all right, we've got a hit. And then they just totally did it. So it was fun.
And to show that they can come back from behind, right? That if you really set your mind to it, even from behind, you can come back for the win. That's a great lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. And as their coach, I know they can bat. They're wonderful, strong little athletes. And I'm like, you guys can do this. You just got to watch the ball and hit hard. And they did it. So it was really fun.
I hope you have that much luck in your next cribbage game.
Me too. This weekend. I will report on the cribbage game playing this weekend.
This weekend is Father's Day. Do you guys have plans? Will you be playing some cribbage in celebration of that?
We are camping for Father's Day. And I made the executive decision that we are not practicing softball on Sunday. For those kiddos that have a father figure at home or in their life, they should be home with their dads or their father figures. So we are taking Sunday off from practice and we're going to sneak a camping trip in.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. My dad is going to come over. We're going to grill out. And so hopefully it'll be nice weather for a couple of games of cribbage.
Yeah.
I hope I have the girls' softball luck when I play too.
I hope. May the force be with you.
All right. Are you ready for a cuteness overload? Just north of Two Rivers is the London Dairy Alpaca Ranch, and they just had babies. Look at the picture of these little baby alpaca. They're sitting like princesses too. Aren't they adorable?
They are so cute. I love their little afro puff hair. Like, I don't even have words. Just the adults and the babies are cute. I think they're cute.
Right, right. The adults are adorable in and of themselves, and then in that miniature little pint size, but they're
Yeah.
just sitting so daintily and perfect.
Yeah.
Adorable.
They the way that they're sitting almost looks like a camel.
Oh, you know what? It really does.
Especially like because their like legs are folded underneath, like their first joint is folded underneath. Do you know what I mean? And their front
Right.
legs. And then like their necks and backs are like still strong and tall like a camel. That's cute. Did you get to like you obviously saw them in person?
I did not.
You did.
Laura out there had told me that babies were coming, and I said, please send a picture when they arrive, and she did. And so I'm hoping to get out there, but I just haven't,
Haven't
with the
got it.
weather and schedule and all of that, I have not managed to
So
get there
you can go visit their farm though, correct?
yet. Yeah, I think if you call 24 hours in advance, you can call for a tour.
So cute.
And they've got a lot of events going on out there too. Like I think this weekend is yoga and wine with the alpacas. So
Yes, I did see something about alpacas and yoga together online. I don't have the details, but I'm sure you can find it.
I think it's yoga for you with alpacas there. It's not yoga for the alpacas. And I don't think it's like the type of yoga where the animals crawl on you either. Like I don't think
Yeah,
you have
like
to worry
goat
about
yoga. I also don't think the alpacas will be drinking wine either, correct?
that. That's probably a good distinction. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, the cuteness overload. Kristin, you shared a picture from the zoo. And before you shared this picture, I wasn't sure that this guy existed because I've looked for him multiple times. Tell us who we're looking at here.
Yeah, so we kind of kicked off summer kind of Thursday and Friday. The girls all had some friends over for a sleepover, which they've been begging to do forever. And so we finally had the right moment in time. And so the zoo is something we did on Friday. And look at this cute little guy. So there's actually two porcupines next to each other at the zoo now. We were super excited because we had heard something was coming in the exhibit, but they were actually there. And I know like maybe porcupines obviously can be painful and not nice, but he was really cute or she was really cute cruising around and the kids loved watching this porcupine.
Okay, and you actually have a little video clip too. Do you want to tell us what we're going to look at first? Because you won't be able to hear our audio while the clip plays.
So the kids were watching this porcupine and it climbed up the little like apparatus, the little climbing tower in the cage. And we were like, oh my gosh. And then it tried climbing down. It's so cute. You guys got to watch this.
He's going.
He is smart. He's going so slow.
He's sliding down like kids go down the basement steps.
Elvis. He's like, oh, that's my alarm. Put it down.
It's so funny. He
He's
goes
so
down
scared.
backwards. Great stuff.
He's so scared though.
He's not.
Oh!
His habitat. He's not scared.
He's
Let's see, where do I go?
He looks like a
Yeah,
baby.
get his
He's
tail
like,
down. Oh, jump back right down.
He puts his
He uses his tail for feeling it. Looks
yeah,
like.
Yeah.
he puts his tail for feeling.
He feels with his tail.
That was cool.
Wow, that is so cool. I would not have guessed that he would go backwards like that.
Right. It was just like the cutest thing. And then when the kids realized that the porcupine was using its tail to kind of be like a tripod to climb down, they were like, oh. So it was fun. It was really
I love that they had that learning moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun. The Asian bear there was getting fed. So we got to watch. It was in its little house when we got there, and the zookeeper was out kind of cleaning up the, exhibit. Is that the right word? Not enough coffee yet today. Cleaning up the exhibit and spread food out all over. And so the girls got to watch the bear come out of its little house and come out and explore where the food was all. And I know I know we say this all the time, But we are super lucky to have this cute little zoo, which is very well maintained and cute right here in our community. And it's free.
Yeah, it's amazing. And they have some learning programs too. So in that little education center,
Yes.
the zookeeper will sometimes give presentations and it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's so fun. And I saw on Facebook last week that the deer had a baby. There's a baby fawn in the deer exhibit, which we did not get to see the baby fawn. We were there. They were maybe hiding very well. But lots of fun reasons to go and visit our super cool zoo.
And speaking of cool zoos and free zoos, we went to visit my brother. He lives in Madison, and there's a zoo down there called the Henry Vilas Zoo. It's also free, and I'd never been there before until this year. They had lions, there were giraffes, they have a whole orangutan, ape, monkey house, meerkats. Like, I was blown away. I was like, I cannot believe that this zoo is free.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's not free, right? We all pay taxes in some form or another. We work hard for the zoo. We work hard for the money, right? But yes, we are very, very lucky, and it's just such a cool experience. And we picked up bagels for breakfast, and we went and sat on a picnic table by the playground, and the kids played for a while, and we walked around the zoo, and it was a really nice activity and a fun way to kick off summer.
Yeah. It's an important reminder, though, too, that those animals are real and they have their own animal instincts. A number of years ago, when Teak was small, maybe 5 or 6 years old, we took him to a zoo up near Marinette, but it started off as a rescue, right? Like, they would rescue animals that people thought might be good pets and then were getting rid of, or that were, I don't know, anyway, animals that needed to be rescued.
Sure.
But so it wasn't fortified in the same way that a typical zoo is fortified. So I remember Teak was standing near a fence and there was a camel, and I was going to take a picture, and all of a sudden you see the camel like starting to lean over the fence, and like, of course the animal can't get close, right? But it like stretched its neck. It was like getting closer and closer, and like it was putting its like mouth, like it was going to put his head in his mouth. I was like, Teak, run! So I did not get the shot, but I did save my son. So
I think your priorities were in the right place.
thank you.
Oh, that is fun. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. I think that safety is always an important thing. I know one year we were at the Manitowoc Zoo in the winter, and Grace had like a kind of a lime green winter jacket, and the bison were attracted to it. And anywhere she would run, they were not running into the fence, but they were charging to her. And I mean, she went like down at the bottom. For those of you who've been to the zoo, down at the bottom of the hill, she would run up to the top. They were following her. It was the coolest thing, and probably very frightening for her because she was probably like 5 or 6. And here's these very, very large bison like coming to charge at her.
Yeah, and you just hope everything is fortified the way it needs to be then, right? So the Manitowoc Zoo also has the Little Red Barn, or the Big Red Barn, which is kind of tell us more about the Big Red Barn. I forget. It's kind of like dairy animals?
Yeah, so
farming?
it wasn't quite open when we were there yet, but I think they're kind of getting ready. And there was alpacas outside of the Little Red Barn in the outside area, so I think they're coming. But in the past, the Red Barn has been like a baby calf, bunnies, chickens, goats, pigs.
I think pigs, yeah.
It's meant to be kind of like a little farm, like what baby animals would be on a farm. So I'm hoping soon it will be open. But I think I did send you the hours for the zoo just in case you're like, hey, when is the Manitowoc Zoo open? Every day of the week, Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. I saw the 7 first. 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then the Big Red Barn is 11 to 5 when it's open. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's so cool. And it's beautiful there, right? Because it's nestled right in Lincoln Park. So it's a beautiful place to have a walk, a bike ride, a picnic. You can just chill out. And I love the fact that it's on the Little Manitowoc River. Do you ever just go up on that platform and look at the river and the cattails and everything that's happening? It's so beautiful.
Yes, it's very good for like bird watching. And we saw there was lots of little, well, we're going to call them chipmunks. I know they're like 7-striped something or others. Somebody can tell me what they are. But they were like sitting in exhibit where like the ducks and the turkey and the swans are sitting in there, like eating their food. And then they would hop in the bowl. And then if the turkey came over, turkeys and these little chippers apparently don't get along. So the chipper would like hop out of the bowl, run to the next bowl, hop in. And then if the turkey followed him, whoop, out of there. It was fun. So.
It's so funny to watch those interactions at play.
I know. Because I was like, is the turkey and the little chipmunk going to like coexist? But definitely not. Definitely not. But there's like the bird watching along the Little Manitowoc River there is amazing. I mean, there's just so many different kinds. And
apparently where we live here in Manitowoc Two Rivers is a bird like hotspot. There's 230 plus birds that migrate and or stay here. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's on a lot of birders' bucket lists.
Oh, that's cool. I know Woodland Dunes has a lot. In Two Rivers, right on Highway 310, they also have a lot of not just actual bird houses where they feed to bring them in. You can stand in the building and watch them on the feeders, but just regular hiking around there, you can see a big variety.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you were talking about like the chipmunk, but actually it might have a different name. I kind of got punked by a plant. I thought it was phlox. I'm like, it's so pretty. And then somebody's like, no, it's dame rocket. It's an invasive species. I got a photo. It's so pretty, right? And so for the longest time, I thought it was phlox, but apparently phlox has 5 petals, and this is the imposter with only 4 petals.
Ooh, a sneaky imposter. It does look like a beautiful flower. It does. Yeah. I can understand why you would have been mistaken. Yes. Good morning, Steve.
Yeah. So that's a bummer. But then we were hiking out at Lower Henry Shooty Park, which I have been there so many times, but it's never the same hike twice. Yeah. It's just always different. And I got this shot and it just made me so happy.
Yes. This looks really pretty. So you guys must have been, if I'm imagining right, were you guys there in the late afternoon? That looks like sunset.
Yes. Gosh, good eye, Kristin.
Yes. Yeah, that's a beautiful shot. Look at all those little... Well, again, I would say they're flowers. I'm sure they're weeds. But
I know. I would say they're daisies, but somebody smarter than me probably knows what they really are. So.
Can we call them wild daisies?
Wild flowers?
You can call them whatever you want.
But the Ice Age Trail there is so awesome, too. And it's fantastic that it runs through our area.
You know, one of the cool things kind of at Shooty Park, depending on what's happening with the weather, is there's sections of the trail that sometimes are water covered. There can be sections of the trail that are like muddy. And I think but there's a lot of different paths and ways around, especially Lower Shooty. I mean, there's all these little different paths that you can take. So it's really cool because if this path is waterlogged, then you go on this one. And sometimes people kind of put sticks or logs down for natural little bridges to get across the water spots. And when it's really dry, you can hike. There's a path all along the river that you can hike if it's dry. And yeah, we haven't been there yet this year, but that's always on our list.
What's so cool too is it's almost like going through different environments. You know, like there's the heavily forested, and then like you said, along the river, it's a totally different experience. Mm-hmm. And then as you walk in, like there's a whole like swampy area that gives you a different feel. And they've been doing a lot of work. So some of the most mucky areas, they now have boardwalks over.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, there is even like that, you know, there's a wooden lookout and you kind of look down. That's almost like prairie land when you look, you know, what you look over. So yeah, if you have not been to Lower Shooty Park, that's a must for the summer.
Yeah, I absolutely love that park. Actually, I've now been there in all seasons and hiked around, and it's fantastic.
Yes. The other thing I'll mention for those of you who have either little kiddos that are in like a stroller or maybe even somebody that is in a wheelchair, there is like a packed gravel road that goes along a lot of it. So you can actually access a lot of the path and still hike on it, even though, you know, you can't obviously do the paths and the stairs, but there is a pretty nice utility road that runs along there that you could still take in a lot of the views.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And, you know, I've also seen a lot of bikers, like mountain bikers, fat tire bike riders. Yes. And I've seen them in the winter as well. So There's just so much to do down there. Kayakers, there's a nice kayak launch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool. Very pretty.
Hey, can I take a second and brag on my son?
Yes.
So they just finished school, and he got his letter for academics, and he was super happy about his
Oh,
accomplishment.
look at him. So Teak is in the Rising Phoenix program, correct?
Right.
So
Yes.
is this his classes that he takes at Lincoln that count towards this academic, or do his classes at UWGB also count towards this? Curious
His
question.
Yeah. Funnily enough, his classes at UWGB did not count towards it.
Okay, so these are
So
just his classes at Lincoln.
yeah, if his classes at UWGB had counted, he would have even performed higher. Then he
Um,
would have gotten like a plaque or something. But they're like, sorry, those classes don't count. And we're like, how do those not count? Those are way
right,
more challenging.
right. Yes, he's taking college level classes. I mean, that's a lot as a junior in high school. That is a lot for somebody to handle.
Right. Yeah. Some nights he had 4 and 5 hours of homework that he had to do, but I was so impressed because he made the time to do it and he was dedicated to doing it. And he's actually in the top 10% of students at UWGB Manitowoc,
Woo!
which
Go
blows
team.
my mind. I know.
That's incredible. I don't know if you have the picture queued up, but I did also see a picture of him with his Lincoln High School tie on uh,
Oh,
from graduation. And I just, once again, have to talk about the tradition of the Lincoln High School graduation. Just so beautiful in so many different ways. There's just all these really incredible things that happen that are part of that. But
yeah. Sorry, I don't have the photo, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for seeing that photo.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Lincoln honors the juniors that are the highest performers in their classes, but the girls get to be flower girls and lead the procession, and then the boys are ushers with those red ties.
Right, right. And again, like that has gone on for a very, very long time. And it's one of the things that makes it a very unique graduation ceremony. And the weather was stunning this year, which I'm so thankful for them.
Right. And they were able to host it. So there was a year, I think was it 2020, that the kids that were graduating did not get to have that graduation ceremony.
Yes, yes. Um, yeah, it's so nice for it to be able to be held. So nice that the weather cooperated. So many friends with beautiful pictures, and it makes my heart happy for them.
Yeah. Will your girls, do you think, end up going to Lincoln? Do you already have their future charted that far?
No,
No.
I have no idea. We've got a couple of years to figure that out. But I went to Lincoln High School and very proud to have graduated from there. And it's definitely on the list of high schools that we'll look at down the line. And when I look at pictures like that, then it makes me feel like, oh, I want that for them. So we'll see.
So when you graduated, you got to wear the formal gown and
Yes.
ooh, and
Yes.
was it as awesome as you would think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In the years prior to that, I played in the orchestra in high school. I played violin. So the band and orchestra always played music for graduation. So I played in the band and orchestra for the other 2 years as part of the music program. So um, it's fun. Again, there's a lot of nostalgia about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. Stephen and Fond du Lac said both of his parents graduated from Lincoln.
Yep. Yeah. My dad graduated from Lincoln also. And it's just really cool that we've had such a tradition. Um,
It must be interesting to go to the same school that your dad went to.
yeah. Somebody actually told me this weekend, we were talking about the Lincoln graduation, and this individual said they believe that Lincoln High School is the oldest high school building in the state of Wisconsin. And
Oh,
and I do remember, it's over 100 years old. And there's incredible architecture and history there. And obviously they've done renovations and things kind of update the inside of it. But it's pretty amazing to think about the history that lives within those walls.
yeah, yeah. And it's really cool too for graduation. One of my favorite parts, there's the tall Lincoln Tower at the
Mhm.
very top to start off the ceremony. 3 trumpeters. It's probably a different instrument, but it looks like a trumpet. um, they stick the trumpets out, and there's like long banners that hang down, and they like play a little tune to kick
Yeah.
off the whole ceremony, which is so unique and neat.
I always imagine that to be like in Shrek when they like play, they announce the king or queen. That's kind of how it is.
That's fantastic. Yes. Okay. So somebody who's watching, tell us, what is that instrument? What are they playing? Is that like a cornet or what is that called? It's like the long brass horn of some kind.
I would have guessed it was some version of a trumpet as well. So you and I are on the same page. That's all that matters.
That is all that matters. That is awesome. Okay. Anything else?
No, other than I'm just admiring your very summery pineapple t-shirt today.
Thanks. It feels like there's only a few days where I can really pull this out.
I know.
You know, I've tried pulling it out like late spring, like, okay, maybe it's time for pineapples, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's too soon. Too soon.
Thank you.
No, I love the color. It speaks summer to me. I'm feeling the sunshine right now. I'm very hope-filled that the sun will stay today and we won't get the thunderstorms later they're calling for. So
Yeah, I hope you guys get to play. Oh, you know, speaking of summer, you guys, the Manitowoc Symphony Orchestra has their concert on June 25th, and it's all Gershwin. They're doing a Gershwin tribute, which he is one of my favorites. So
I don't know Gershwin. Hum us something.
well, you know, Rhapsody in Blue, that's
No.
a Gershwin song. You know, American in Paris, that's a Gershwin song. Suwannee, that's a Gershwin song.
No, you have to sing it. That's how I'll know it.
I can't. I'm not warmed up. So Rhapsody in Blue usually has that, like, it starts off with like a clarinet, right? It goes, you know, something like that.
That was great. That was fabulous.
Just look it up. Yes, Stephen, American in Paris. You know what I'm talking about.
You know, I love you. You just look it up. You'll find it.
You know what? I will find a rendition of it and I'll post it in the chat.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, this has been so much fun. Thanks for joining us today, Kristin. As always, wonderful talking with you. Oh, there's the alarm telling me it's 9 o'clock. Time to get out and enjoy this day.
Time to go to work.
Time to go to work. All right. You've been watching Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We really enjoyed seeing you. We'll see you next time. Take care, friends.